What's up, comic book fans? And welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me. And today, we got more Ghost Rider Final Vengeance with issue number 4. And if you guys missed any part of this series, then I put a card up for you at the top of the screen and a link at the end of the video to the playlist. But when we left off with this series, the Hood has started using the spirit of vengeance to take over the underworld of Chicago, while having his vampire gang clean up all of the messes. We also saw Johnny Blaze recover from being trapped by that giant spider, now without the spirit of vengeance. And we found out that there's basically a supernatural hit out on him. But fortunately for Johnny though, it turns out he does still have some residual power left over from the spirit, allowing him to access some of that hellfire with his shotgun. So if you guys are ready to find out if Johnny Blaze can overcome everything that's being thrown at him and regain the spirit of vengeance before Parker Robbins fully takes over as the underworld's biggest boss, then you guys know what time it is. Let's get it. So this issue kicks off with an Italian beef spot in Chicago called Big Pete's. And I appreciate them throwing in an Italian beef restaurant because growing up in Chicago, Italian beef sandwiches are huge there. But where I'm at now, they don't really have them around, so that's dope to see. But inside the restaurant, there's a secret menu. Yeah, you can get you a sandwich and a soda if you want. Although in Chicago, it'd be a sandwich and a pop. But in addition to that, you can gamble on horses, sports, politics, whatever. Big Pete runs all of the bets in the city, so of course the Hood is gonna need a piece of that action. So he goes inside and torches the guy at the counter, and then he heads downstairs and blows off the head of the guy that was just running in the latest Bears bet to Big Pete. And when the Hood comes in, of course he doesn't come alone, as his vampire allies all swarm in with him and clean house. They know the drill. Lead a boss for him. He's got use left still for Big Pete. And just like that, the Hood's got another new operation under his belt after another hostile takeover. Then we pick up with a restaurant in Minnesota with Johnny Blaze and Zeb taking a break from the road to get a meal. And while they're here, that's when Zeb fills in Johnny on Parker Robbins' bargain with Mephisto. And then now he's taking over Chicago. But there's one thing that's bothering Johnny though. The spirit abandoned him, so why the hell should he care about trying to reunite with it? Because it's a weapon of mass destruction, Zeb tells him, and it's got the power to do some serious damage to this world. And Zeb doesn't care one way or the other about right or wrong, but he's more concerned with the balance between the light and the shadows. And Johnny always kept things in balance. He's got good in him, and that kept the spirit in check. So this is Johnny's burden, Zeb tells him. But Johnny wants Zeb to consider another possibility. What if they kill it, he asks. What if they exorcise the spirit of vengeance from this world once and for all? But when he asks, the waitress comes up to offer more coffee, and then a message to be careful because it's hot. And then reveals a demon form, and she smashes the coffee pot over Johnny's face. Man, that had to hurt. And now this whole restaurant ends up getting possessed. So Johnny and Zeb fight their way out of there and jump back on the road. They got to get to Chicago quick, and they can't afford any more stops. But before they take off, Johnny reminds Zeb to think about what he said about exercising the spirit. Meanwhile in Chicago, Parker walks his daughter and her mother to his daughter's new school. It's a private school and the best in the city. In fact, Parker's ex mentions that she looked up this school and it cost about 50 racks a year. But that's nothing to Parker. He's balling now. And nothing but the best for his baby girl, right? And then he asks his ex if she wants to go out and get a drink or something. But she's not ready for all that right now. Although Parker can tell that he's getting closer and closer to getting back in there with her. He's gonna win her back, he says. But then we pick up with him at the office. He's been working his ass off since coming to Chicago and he wants more. And everything he needs to know about the criminal network in Chicago is there in the skulls of all of these bosses that he's collected. And the spirit helps him get this information by giving a clear view of all of their sins. And then we pick up at the home of one Abraham Davis, and specifically outside with the security, as one of the guards arrives to relieve another for his post. But when he finds the guy he's supposed to be replacing, he's dead. So he immediately calls in a man down and lock this place down because there's an unknown threat on the grounds. But he gets no response back because the vampire team has already taken out the rest of his team. And then, unfortunately for him, Helmuth jumps down on him from the tree that he was standing right next to and makes quick work of him. Inside of the house, though, Abraham and his wife wakes up from the gunfire, and he tries to reach for his gun, but it's already gone as Parker is already sitting in the room waiting for Abraham to wake up, and he's got the gun. And Abraham's first response is to offer himself up as long as his wife is unharmed. But Parker wants to talk. He knows Abraham controls the labor unions and is a different kind of crime boss. Everyone else in the city is more concerned with showing off their money as they get it. But Abraham never does. He doesn't go out and show off at all. And Parker wonders why that is. You work hard to make money, and you make money to spend it. But nah, Abraham is about family, he tells him. And everything he does is all for them. And Parker appreciates that right before he flames up on old Abraham. Then later on, after all that madness calms down, Parker makes his way back to the meat locker. And he thinks about that last encounter, because he wants everything. But he also wants to be able to help his family along the way. He's doing it different. You can sin and still help others while enjoying the hell out of yourself, he thinks. But then when he opens the door to his office, he's shocked at what he sees, as some of Hellman's vampires are in his office feeding on his crime bosses, and he's pissed now. And he immediately turns into the rider and takes the head off one of those vamps. And then Helmuth runs in to defend her children. But the hood tells her that they dared to drink from his prisoners. He needs these bosses alive to draw from their years of experience. And her children need to be punished. So he makes her watch as he incinerates the rest of the vamps in the room. But Helmuth won't forget about this, and she tells him that he'll regret that. But the hood responds back to her that the spirit regrets nothing and fears no one, as we see Johnny Blaze approaching the city of Chicago. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the issue. So what did you guys think about this one? And how you guys feeling about the series as a whole so far? Are you enjoying the hood as Ghost Rider? And how about Johnny wanting to get rid of the spirit altogether? I guess that's where the Final Vengeance name comes from, huh? Do you guys think that he'll end up getting rid of it? I know one thing. If Parker Robbins does end up losing the spirit, them vampires are gonna be on his ass. But with this being the halfway point of this series, how do you guys think that it's all gonna end? I wanna hear all you guys' best theories. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video and this channel, and you'd like to support the channel, then you could do so by stopping by the Comics Icon store and picking you up some of this merchandise, including the background music heard right here in this video available for download, or by joining the Iconic Fan Club channel membership, and there'll be a link in the description to join. But with your membership, your voice will be heard during our interactive live streams with yours truly, where we can talk about everything that's been going down in these issues, as well as the ones that you'd like for me to go over in the future in other comic book news. Plus, you guys will get loyalty badges, member shoutouts, and up to 20% off of Comics Icon's merchandise from the Comics Icon store. And now we've got new tiers to the memberships as well, starting at just 99 cents. Or you guys can donate to the channel as well with a super thanks. And if you're not able to do any of that, then you can still be a tremendous help to the future of this channel by dropping a like, share, and subscribing to Comics Icons for more icons in the comic book world. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. I'm out.